Throughout much of his campaign for president, Joe Biden has thrived off of support from black voters. He was grateful to the black voters in South Carolina that essentially resurrected his campaign during the 2020 Democratic primaries. And it was black voter turnout both in person and via absentee ballots in states like Georgia and Michigan and Pennsylvania that helped edge him over the top in the general election. Then President-elect Biden thanked black voters and credited them for his win, promising to do right by them during his presidency. Well, it seems as if black folks are still waiting for our just dues. Talks on moving the George Floyd Policing Act have stalled, and progress on voting rights is a bust after Democrats failed to secure enough votes to stop the filibuster. A recent poll from Hit Strategies serves as a warning to the Biden administration and congressional Democrats to step up their game if they want black support. For more on this, I want to bring in Terrance Woodbury. He is a Democratic pollster and partner at Hit Strategies. Terrance, always good to have you here on Amplified. I want to start off with the basics of your findings. Now, black voter approval ratings for Democratic leaders has seen a steady decline over the last couple of months. President Biden's rating went down 9%, and Vice President Harris's rating is down 4%. And to no one's surprise, congressional Democrats are down 12%. So tell us more about the findings and what message you think it sends to the folks at the top.
Thank you so much for having me on, Aisha. And you're right, this is a warning. This is a warning call to the Biden administration and Democrats from black voters who are acutely aware of the role that they played delivering the United States Senate, United States Congress, and the White House to Democrats. But along with that awareness comes a level of expectation. Black voters expect progress on the issues that are most important to them, issues like racism and discrimination, economic opportunity, closing the wealth gap. And the challenge that we're seeing here is both a governing and a messaging problem that, in fact, the Biden administration has made significant progress on these issues, but has proven either incapable or unwilling to take the victory lap to show black voters how they have made their lives better. And that is leading to a decline in morale and a precipitous decline in support that is going to be problematic in the midterm election where the Democrats that will be on the ballot are inextricably tied to Joe Biden's approval, and where black voter support is the only path to victory for many Democrats in battleground districts.
Well, I think your perspective is interesting here on this messaging stuff, because a lot of the promises made to the black community, such as voting rights and addressing police brutality, have in fact been deflated. And so I'm hearing you say that there actually are some accomplishments, there's some progress, and that part of the challenge is the timidness maybe and taking a victory lap. Say more about that.
That's exactly right, Aisha. So I actually have an op-ed coming out this week that talks about how it started and how it's going. And it, we started off, I described the 2020 election as both pain and power of black voters. That there was a significant levels of pain from COVID-19, where black voters were 37% more likely to die from COVID. Well, Joe Biden has all but eliminated that infection and death gap amongst black voters. When it started, Black Lives Matter was classified as a terrorist organization. Well, today, the Proud Boys are a terrorist organization, and the Oath Keepers are being indicted on sedition charges. When it started, Flint had been suffering with lead water pipes under 3 presidents, under George Bush, Barack Obama, and Donald Trump. We're all aware of the lead pipes in Flint, Michigan. Well, Joe Biden has now signed a bill that allocates $45 billion to replace every lead pipe in America, including Flint, Michigan. Even on issues of police and on police reform and justice, when it started, millions of young people and people of color were protesting in the streets, demanding for police reform. And while while the George Floyd Police Reform Act has been stalled by Republicans in Congress, Joe Biden's administration and Merrick Garland's Justice Department has banned chokeholds for federal officers, has banned no-knock warrants, and Joe Biden is prepared to announce an aggressive executive order on police reform in the next couple of weeks. And so progress is being made, but it doesn't matter if they refuse to talk about it. It doesn't matter if they don't go into these communities and tell them how they are making their lives better.
You know, the complete incongruence here of the facts that you just laid out and the reality of what's happening in the bureaucratic process and the impact that's having and what people are thinking and feeling, and the reception is so huge here. I mean, you know, for the last couple of decades, black folks have overwhelmingly voted for the Democratic Party because the party tends to support the issues that we actually care about. But it seems to me that, you know, what you found in your poll, at least, that's not what people are feeling, right? They're not feeling that they're actually being supported. So I want to walk through some of this data that you have here. You see we have here on the screen. Democrats take black voters for granted. 8%. That's gone up 8% since June of 2021. Despite that, black people are still planning to vote in the 2022 midterms, though. So why do you think that black people, one, are putting their faith in a party that they don't feel has delivered for them, despite what you say? And do you think that the turnout is really going to reflect what you're seeing in your poll?
I am very concerned about declines in turnout and about, you know, declines in morale. A lot of the voters, you know, Joe Biden's path to victory in 2020 required us to achieve historic numbers amongst black voters. I mean, in Georgia, black seniors had surpassed their 2016 turnout before Election Day. We saw young black voters doubling their voter registration in cities like Detroit and in Philadelphia. And so these younger and more diverse voters are also the most likely to drop off between presidential and midterm elections. And so the drop in morale, the drop in confidence, the crisis of confidence that progress is being made is very concerning to the turnout required in 2022. In fact, if we just look back to 2021, where Glenn Youngkin turned out 90% of Donald Trump voters in Virginia, and Terry McAuliffe turned out just 72% of Joe Biden voters in Virginia. That is the risk of decline amongst some of these surge voters in the younger and black communities. And so Democrats have work to do.
Terrance, I only have 1 minute left, so I want you to comment on this. This enthusiasm gap that we're talking about isn't just about black folks and if black folks are going to show up at the polls. We actually need white voters to show up at the polls in order to elect Democrats and advance our agenda, right? And what your research found is that white people are really tepid about Democrats too. Tell us what you found and what you expect to see play out.
That's exactly right, Aisha. And this is what we try to impose upon our Democratic clients, is that issues of race and justice are not just exclusive to black voters anymore. In the summer of 2020, we saw the complexion of the protest change. 52% of protesters were white. The majority of of protesters for police reform in the summer of 2020 were white, but 80% of them were under the age of 40. Democrats now have to appeal to a diverse coalition of young voters and people of color that are all demanding for justice and reform here, and accept the fact that these are no longer just exclusively black issues.
And the folks that he's talking about are the new American majority of voters who are the majority in this country. Terrance Woodbury of Hit Strategies, thanks so much for being here. Always a pleasure to talk to you about the issues and your polling data.